Super Bowl Sunday in Houston had started like any other, with the stadium packed to capacity and millions watching worldwide. The Kansas City Chiefs were leading by 7 points when the sky turned an impossible shade of purple. At first, the crowd thought it was part of the halftime show. The swirling vortex of energy that appeared above NRG Stadium certainly looked spectacular enough. But when the massive silhouette of what could only be an alien vessel emerged, casting a shadow that plunged the stadium into darkness, the cheering turned to stunned silence. Dr. Amanda Reynolds was watching from the Pentagon's Quantum Research Division when her quantum computers detected the surge in spatial distortion. "Sir," she called out to General Mitchell, "they're using some form of controlled space-time manipulation. This isn't just advanced technology. They're breaking physics as we know it." The general's response was cut short as every screen, phone, and digital device across the globe began broadcasting the same message in multiple languages. The aliens called themselves the Krelnar Dominion, conquerors of 47 star systems. Their message was simple: Earth had 30 standard cycles to surrender and join their empire, or face extinction. President Sarah Coleman watched the message from the White House Situation Room, her face a mask of calm despite the crisis. "How long is a standard cycle?" she asked. "Approximately 18 hours, Madam President," Dr. Reynolds replied through the secure quantum link. "We have 23 days before they expect an answer." The president's next question was interrupted by urgent news. The International Space Station had detected a small object moving at impossible speeds toward their position. Before any evasive action could be taken, a beam of energy lanced out from one of the smaller Krelnar ships. The ISS, humanity's symbol of international cooperation and scientific achievement, exploded in a brief, brilliant flash. "A demonstration," the Krelnar message continued. "Your most advanced orbital achievement, destroyed with our most basic weapon. Resistance is not advised." But what the Krelnars didn't know, what no one outside a select group knew, was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. As emergency meetings were called and panic spread across the globe, President Coleman made her way to the secure bunker beneath the White House. "Dr. Reynolds," she said, her voice steady, "initiate Operation Thunderclap." Deep beneath Mount Weather, Dr. Reynolds placed her hand on a biometric scanner. Walls of classified data appeared on quantum-linked displays. "Operation Thunderclap is now active," she confirmed, waking the enhanced units and bringing Defense Grid online. Around the world, hidden facilities began powering up. In the Mariana Trench, massive doors opened in the ocean floor. Beneath the Antarctic ice, thermal signatures began to rise. And in orbit, thousands of seemingly innocent communication satellites quietly transformed, revealing their true nature. The Krelnar ships detected these energy signatures, but dismissed them as primitive power fluctuations. Their scans showed a level of technology far below their own. Earth's military forces seemed limited to atmospheric aircraft and basic ballistic weapons. They never thought to look for quantum signatures, never realized that what they were seeing was only what humanity wanted them to see. As the first day of the crisis drew to a close, Dr. Reynolds stood before the Joint Chiefs in a secure bunker. "The Thunder Project has been preparing for this since 1985, she explained. "Every major technological breakthrough we've announced publicly has been at least 20 years behind what we actually achieved. The Krelnars think they're facing a primitive species. They have no idea what's coming." General Mitchell nodded grimly. "How long until we're ready?" Dr. Reynolds checked her quantum-linked display. "Enhanced units are at 90% combat readiness. Orbital defense grid is online but masked. Ghost Fleet is powering up. We can begin operations in 12 hours. "Good," the president's voice came through the secure channel, "because I don't plan to wait 23 days to give them our answer. Humanity doesn't surrender, and it's time to show them exactly why." The elevator descended for what seemed like hours, though Dr. Reynolds' watch showed only minutes had passed. Beside her, Colonel Jack Harrison stood rigid, his enhanced frame barely contained by his dress uniform. The former Marine had been one of the first volunteers for the Thunder Project's enhancement program back in '95, and now he led the most advanced fighting force in human history. "How are they handling the upgrades?" Dr. Reynolds asked, breaking the silence. Harrison's cybernetically enhanced eyes flickered with blue light. "Better than expected. The neural link is operating at 98% efficiency. My team can share sensory input and combat data in real time now." The elevator finally stopped, opening into a massive underground chamber that put Pentagon's above-ground structure to shame. Hundreds of technicians worked at quantum-linked stations, while through the reinforced glass windows, they could see the training areas where enhanced soldiers moved with impossible speed and precision. "Welcome to Thunder Base Prime," Dr. Reynolds announced to the assembled Joint Chiefs. "This is where we've been preparing for this day for nearly 4 decades. The military leaders watched in awe as a holographic display materialized, showing the full scope of the project. Enhanced soldiers demonstrated combat maneuvers that defied human limitations, their nanite-infused bodies moving in perfect synchronization. Each squad functions as a single organism, Harrison explained, his voice carrying the authority of experience. Through the neural network, they share everything: sight lines, tactical data, even muscle memory. When one soldier learns something, they all learn it. Admiral James Porter leaned forward. "And the Krellners haven't detected any of this." Dr. Reynolds smiled. "They're looking for the wrong things. Their scans are calibrated for known technology types. We've developed something entirely different. Our quantum-based systems operate on principles they haven't even discovered yet." A demonstration began in the chamber below. 20 enhanced soldiers faced off against combat robots programmed with Krellnar battle tactics. The soldiers moved like water, each motion flowing into the next. Before the robots could execute their first attack pattern, the squad had already countered and disabled them. "That's impossible," General Mitchell breathed. "They're moving before the robots even strike." "Quantum prediction algorithms," Dr. Reynolds explained. "Combined with enhanced neural processing, our soldiers can calculate and react to enemy actions milliseconds before they occur." Harrison touched a panel on his wrist, and his uniform shifted, revealing the true extent of the enhancements. Microscopic machines coursed through his body, visible as faint blue lines under his skin. "We're not just soldiers anymore," he said. "We're the next step in human evolution, purpose-built to defend Earth." The display changed, showing the full defense network. Hidden bases like this one existed on every continent. The ocean floor concealed shipyards building vessels that could match Krellnar technology. And in orbit, thousands of satellites waited to reveal their true nature. "How many enhanced soldiers do we have?" Porter asked. 10,000 combat-ready," Harrison replied. "Another 5,000 in final integration. Each one capable of taking on an entire traditional military unit." Dr. Reynolds added, "And that's just phase 1. The real surprise is what happens when they work together." "Colonel, would you demonstrate?" Harrison nodded and closed his eyes. Suddenly, every screen in the room showed the same image. The Krellnar fleet, but from angles that shouldn't have been possible. "We've already infiltrated their ships," he explained. "Microscopic drones, quantum-linked to our neural network. We know every weakness, every blind spot. When we strike, they won't know what hit them." The Joint Chiefs exchanged looks of mixed awe and concern. They had known about the Thunder Project's existence, but its true scope exceeded their wildest expectations. "Dr. Reynolds," General Mitchell said finally, "how soon can your forces be ready for a full engagement?" She checked the quantum feed one last time. "The enhanced units are combat-ready now. Give me 6 hours to synchronize the orbital grid, and we can show the Krellners exactly what humanity is capable of." Harrison's eyes glowed brighter. They thought they were starting a war. Instead, they're about to witness a revolution. The Krellnar landing ships descended through Earth's atmosphere like falling stars, their energy shields deflecting the primitive missiles Earth's military forces launched in response. Their target, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. Their intelligence suggested it was humanity's most advanced research facility. They never saw the trap until it was too late. Colonel Harrison stood in the underground command center, his enhanced squad linked through their neural network. "All units in position," he reported. "Permission to execute Operation Steel Rain." "Granted," came the president's response through the quantum channel. "Show them what thunder can do." The first Krellnar dropships landed in the JPL parking lot, disgorging troops in powered armor that made them tower over regular humans. Their sensors showed only scattered heat signatures, suggesting a successful evacuation of the facility. Then the ground erupted. Enhanced soldiers emerged from quantum-cloaked positions, moving faster than the alien targeting systems could track. Harrison's squad struck first, their nanite-enhanced bodies flowing like mercury between the alien warriors. Quantum-phased weapons pierced shields that could supposedly stop nuclear blasts. "They're not registering our attacks," one of Harrison's soldiers reported through the neural link. "Their systems can't process quantum-state weapons." Above, the real show began. Dr. Reynolds' voice came through the command channel. "Orbital Platform Network Online. Releasing stealth protocols." Thousands of communication satellites shed their disguises, revealing weapon systems that had been hiding in plain sight for years. The Krellnar fleet detected the change too late, as streams of hyper-accelerated tungsten rods began raining from the sky. By the void, a Krellnar commander's intercepted transmission rang through the command center. "Their weapons, they're using principles we've never seen." Harrison watched through his enhanced vision as the first Krellnar capital ship tried to raise its shields against the orbital barrage. The tungsten rods, accelerated to near-relativistic speeds by quantum drives, simply phased through the energy barriers like they didn't exist. "Target their engine cores," Harrison ordered through the neural net. "Show them what coordinated warfare really looks like." His enhanced soldiers moved as one entity, each acting with perfect knowledge of their squadmates' positions and intentions. Quantum weapons found weak points that the aliens didn't even know they had. Every movement was calculated milliseconds in advance, every strike precisely coordinated through the neural network. In orbit, the space around Earth had become a killing field. The Krellnar ships, expecting to face primitive orbital defenses, found themselves caught in a web of quantum-linked weapon platforms. Each platform could predict and counter alien maneuvers before they were executed, using Dr. Reynolds' advanced algorithms. "We're detecting energy buildups in their remaining capital ships," a tactical officer reported. "They're preparing to launch a full-scale bombardment." Harrison smiled. "Just as the simulations predicted." "Dr. Reynolds." "Activating Phase 2, she responded. The enhanced soldiers suddenly shifted tactics, their movements becoming even more fluid and coordinated. Quantum signals pulsed through their neural network, linking not just with each other, but with the orbital defense grid itself. Through their combined neural link, Harrison's forces became one with their orbital weapons. Each soldier could see through the satellite's sensors, direct their fire with thought alone. The precision was beyond anything the Krellnars had ever faced. "Impossible." Another intercepted alien transmission crackled. "Their ground forces are controlling orbital weapons through some kind of biological interface. How can they process that much data?" The battle for JPL ended in less than 30 minutes. The Krellnar landing force was annihilated, their supporting ships either destroyed or retreating in disarray. What was supposed to be a show of force had become a demonstration of their own vulnerabilities. In the command center, Harrison received the final combat reports through his neural link. "First engagement complete," he announced. "Minimal casualties on our side. The enemy is retreating to their main fleet." "Good," the president replied. "Let them run. Let them tell their leaders exactly what they found here. Because this was just the beginning of what thunder can do." Deep in the Marianas Trench, where the ocean's pressure could crush most submarines, ancient doors groaned open in the seafloor. Admiral Rebecca Martinez stood on the bridge of the U.S. Phantom Dawn, Earth's first true stealth warship, as maintenance drones detached the final moorings. "All Ghost Fleet vessels report ready, Admiral," her XO announced, the neural link transmitting data directly to their enhanced minds. Quantum drives charged, stealth systems nominal. Around them, 30 more ships of various classes rose from their underground berths. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering, built with technology that had been kept hidden from the world for decades. Their hulls were coated with quantum state materials that could bend light, radar, and even gravity around them. "Begin surface ascent," Martins ordered. "Maintain stealth protocols until we clear the atmosphere." The fleet rose through the Pacific Ocean like shadows through water. On the surface, the only sign of their passage was a slight ripple, indistinguishable from natural wave patterns. Krelnar sensors in orbit registered nothing. Dr. Reynolds' voice came through the quantum link from Thunderbase. "Admiral, Colonel Harrison's ground forces have the aliens distracted. They're still reeling from their losses at JPL. This is our window." "Understood." Martins activated the fleet-wide neural network. "All ships, prepare for atmospheric break. Our target is their command and control station behind Mars. Operation Ghost Strike begins in 5 minutes." The ships breached the ocean's surface in perfect formation, their quantum drives instantly negating the effects of water resistance. As they rose through the atmosphere, their true forms became visible for a brief moment. Sleek, predatory vessels that looked nothing like traditional spaceships. Then they vanished completely. In orbit, the Krelnar fleet's sensors registered a minor gravitational anomaly, but their computers dismissed it as a natural phenomenon. They never saw the Ghost Fleet pass within kilometers of their position. "Approaching Mars orbital zone," the navigation officer reported. "Enemy command station detected. They're still transmitting battle updates about their ground losses." Martins allowed herself a small smile. "Let's add to their report. All ships, sync targeting through the neural net. Fire on my mark." The Ghost Fleet materialized like avenging angels around the Krelnar command station. Before the alien defenders could react, quantum-phase torpedoes passed through their shields as if they weren't there. By the eternal void, a Krelnar commander's transmission cut through the combat chatter. "Where did they get these ships? Our sensors show nothing." The battle was short but decisive. The Ghost Fleet's technology made traditional space combat tactics obsolete. Ships could phase through enemy fire, appear inside shield perimeters, and strike from impossible angles. "Command station neutralized," Martinez's XO reported. "Minimal damage to our fleet. Enemy reinforcements approaching from Jupiter's orbit." "Let them come," Martins replied, her enhanced mind already calculating new attack patterns. "Signal Colonel Harrison. Tell him Phase 2 of Ghost Strike is a go." On Earth, Harrison's enhanced forces began their own space operations. Quantum-linked drop pods launched from hidden silos, carrying Thunder soldiers directly to the disabled Krelnar station. "Boarding operations successful," Harrison reported through the neural net. "We're downloading their complete strategic database. Dr. Reynolds, you're going to want to see this." Martins watched as new data flooded the quantum network. The Krelnar's full battle plans, their fleet positions, their technological capabilities. All of it now in human hands. "Admiral," Dr. Reynolds' voice carried a note of excitement. "Their main fleet, it's larger than we thought. They're gathering everything they have for a final push." "Good," Martins replied, her enhanced mind already formulating new strategies. Let them come in force. The Ghost Fleet was built for this fight, and it's time the galaxy learned that humanity's waters run deep. Through the neural link, she could feel her crew's determination, their pride in finally revealing what humanity had kept hidden for so long. The Krelnar Dominion had started this war expecting an easy victory. Instead, they had awakened a giant that had been preparing for this moment for generations. Dr. Amanda Reynolds stood in the heart of Thunderbase's quantum core, surrounded by crystalline processors that pulsed with otherworldly light. The air crackled with energy as she initiated the most ambitious phase of Operation Thunder yet. Quantum Entanglement Grid is online, she announced through the neural network. All enhanced units, prepare for total neural synchronization. Around the world, 10,000 enhanced soldiers felt their neural links expand, their consciousness spreading through a network that defied the laws of physics. Distance became meaningless as quantum entanglement allowed instant communication across the solar system. Colonel Harrison, leading a strike team on the captured Krelnar station near Mars, felt the change immediately. "This is incredible," he transmitted. "I can see everything. Every ship, every movement." "That's just the beginning," Reynolds replied. "Watch this." She gestured at the quantum core, and suddenly, the neural network filled with predictive data. The enhanced soldiers could see not just where Krelnar forces were, but where they would be, seconds before they moved. In orbit, Admiral Martinez's Ghost Fleet executed maneuvers that seemed to anticipate enemy actions before they happened. Krelnar ships found their carefully planned attacks meeting counter moves that shouldn't have been possible. How are they doing this? A Krelnar commander's frustrated transmission cut through their tactical channel. "It's like they're reading our command codes." "Better," Reynolds whispered, though all Thunder forces heard her through the network. "We're reading your minds." The quantum core pulsed brighter as she initiated the next phase. Microscopic quantum-entangled particles, released during earlier battles, had infiltrated Krelnar systems throughout the fleet. Now they activated, creating a bridge between their network and Earth's. "Their encryption is breaking down," Harrison reported from the captured station. "Every code, every security protocol. We're inside all of it." Reynolds watched through the neural link as humanity's greatest technological achievement revealed its true power. The quantum network wasn't just reading Krelnar communications, it was predicting them, processing combat data faster than light itself could travel. "Admiral Martinez," she called through the network, "you have full access to their battle network now. Show them what that means." The Ghost Fleet moved like a single organism, each ship anticipating not just enemy actions, but their own squadron's responses. Perfect coordination on a scale the Krelnars had never imagined possible. "Multiple enemy ships are experiencing system failures," Martins reported, her enhanced mind processing the flood of data. "Their weapons are turning. Yes, they're firing on their own forces." Through the quantum network, Reynolds watched as confusion turned to chaos in the Krelnar fleet. Ships received contradictory orders, weapons targeted friendly vessels, and communication systems broadcast everything on open channels. "This isn't possible," a Krelnar admiral's voice echoed through the compromised networks. "Their technology. It violates every law of physics we know." Harrison's voice carried a note of pride. "That's because we stopped playing by your rules decades ago." The enhanced soldiers, now linked more deeply than ever through the quantum network, began their counterattack. Each one could access the combined knowledge and experience of the entire force, moving and fighting with impossible precision. "Dr. Reynolds," the president's voice cut through the neural chatter. "The Krelnar main fleet. They're starting to pull back." "Let them try," Reynolds replied, her hands dancing over quantum controls. "They can't hide anymore. Not from this." She felt the entire Thunder network pulse with power as the final protocols activated. Every enhanced soldier, every ghost ship, every orbital platform, all connected through quantum entanglement into a single unstoppable force. They thought they were fighting a primitive species, she transmitted to all Thunder forces. Instead, they're facing the next evolution of warfare. And we're just getting started. The quantum core blazed like a captured star as Earth's forces prepared for the next phase of battle, their victory no longer in doubt. The only question now was how much of their technology they would need to reveal before the Kroners finally understood. They had made a terrible mistake in challenging humanity. Colonel Harrison stood on the bridge of the captured Kronar command ship, his enhanced vision taking in the alien technology around him. Through the neural network, he could feel his team methodically working through the ship's systems, each discovery adding to their understanding of their enemy. "Dr. Reynolds," he called through the quantum link. "We found something. Their ships, they have a critical weakness to specific solar radiation frequencies." In Thunderbase, Reynolds' hands flew over quantum controls as she processed the data. "Of course," she breathed. "Their shield technology, it's based on deflecting known energy types, but they never develop protection against focused solar plasma. Because no species has ever successfully controlled a star," Admiral Martinez added through the network. Her ghost fleet hung silent in Mars orbit, waiting. Until now. The president's voice cut in. "Initiate solar web protocol. It's time to show them our final defense line." Across the solar system, millions of microscopic satellites began to activate. They had been deployed years ago, disguised as natural space debris, creating an invisible web throughout Earth's solar system. "Solar web reaching full power," Reynolds reported. "Quantum link stable, ready to begin solar energy redirection." Through their neural network, every enhanced soldier could see it. A vast, invisible network of quantum-linked microsatellites, each capable of capturing, focusing, and redirecting solar energy with impossible precision. The Kronar main fleet chose that moment to make its final push. Thousands of ships emerged from FTL near Jupiter's orbit, the largest armada they had ever assembled. "They're right where we want them," Martins transmitted. "Colonel Harrison, is your team clear of the target zone?" "Affirmative. We've extracted all valuable data from the command ship, ready for Phase 2. Reynolds initiated the sequence, solar web activating in 3, 2, 1. The space between Jupiter and Mars suddenly lit up like a new sun. Millions of microsatellites focused and redirected solar energy, creating a web of deadly radiation that struck the Kronar fleet's exact vulnerability. By the void, a Kronar commander's transmission crackled through their compromised networks. They've weaponized their star. All ships raise secondary shields. But their shields, designed to stop traditional energy weapons, were useless against the precisely tuned solar radiation. Ships began to fall out of formation as their systems overloaded. "They're trying to retreat," Harrison observed through the neural link. "But look, they can't plot FTL courses through the solar web. We've trapped them." Martinez's ghost fleet emerged from stealth mode, taking position around the confused Kronar forces. "All ships target their engine cores. Let's show them how we fight when we control the battlefield itself." The battle that followed would be studied for generations. The solar web acted as both weapon and shield, creating safe corridors for ghost fleet ships, while trapping enemy vessels in killing zones of focused solar energy. Enhanced soldiers aboard captured Kronar ships used their neural links to coordinate with the solar web, predicting and countering every attempted breakthrough. The quantum network allowed perfect synchronization between every element of Thunder's forces. "Their flagship is hailing us," Reynolds announced. They're requesting terms." The president's response was immediate. "Put them through to all Thunder forces. The Krellnar Supreme Commander's voice echoed through the neural network. Never in our history have we encountered a species with such complete mastery of their star system. We had thought you primitive, but you have been testing us, haven't you? Learning our weaknesses while hiding your true strength. That's correct, the President replied. And now you have a choice. Retreat beyond the solar web's range and never return, or stay and learn just how many more surprises we have waiting. Through the neural link, Harrison could feel the pride and determination of every Thunder Force member. They had not just defended Earth, they had demonstrated a level of technological achievement that the Krellnars had never imagined possible. The solar web is just one of our defense systems, Reynolds added. Would you like to see the others? The Krellnar fleet's response was swift. One by one, their ships began powering down weapon systems, preparing for a long retreat. Dr. Reynolds stood before the Combined Military Command, her neural interface projecting a holographic display of the entire solar system. The room had gone silent as she revealed the true scope of Project Thunder. What you've seen so far, the enhanced soldiers, the Ghost Fleet, the solar web, that was just Phase 1, she explained. Project Thunder was never just about defense. It was about establishing humanity as a galactic power. Through the quantum network, Colonel Harrison's voice came from the captured Krellnar station. We're detecting massive energy signatures from beyond Saturn. The enemy's entire reserve fleet is moving in. Perfect timing, Reynolds smiled. Let's show them Phase 2. Across the solar system, hidden installations began to activate. Bases on Mars, underground facilities on Europa, mining stations in the asteroid belt. All had been preparing for this moment. All Thunder platforms online, Admiral Martinez reported from the Ghost Fleet. The network is reading green across all sectors. The President leaned forward. Dr. Reynolds, you have authorization. Show us what Thunder can really do. Reynolds' hands danced over the quantum controls, initiating full system integration. All enhanced units, prepare for total neural convergence. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Every enhanced soldier, every ghost ship, every orbital platform, all suddenly connected through the quantum network at a deeper level than ever before. The combined processing power of 10,000 enhanced minds merged with the most advanced AI systems ever created. By the stars, Harrison breathed. I can feel everything. The entire defense network, all at once. This is what we built Thunder for, Reynolds explained. Not just individual weapons or tactics, but a complete integration of human and machine, spread across the entire solar system. The Krellnar Reserve Fleet emerged from FTL near Saturn, their numbers darkening the space around the ringed planet. It was their final push, everything they had left. They still don't understand, Martinez observed through the network. They think this is a traditional war. Reynolds nodded. Let's educate them. All Thunder forces execute Override Protocol Echo. Through the neural network, every enhanced soldier could feel it as humanity's full military might was finally unveiled. Quantum weapons platforms hidden in Saturn's rings powered up. Stealth facilities on multiple moons revealed artillery systems that could target ships in FTL. The solar web expanded, creating a complex pattern of deadly energy fields throughout the battlefield. Multiple enemy ships are attempting to calculate escape vectors, Harrison reported, but the Thunder network is predicting their routes faster than they can plot them. The battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Enhanced soldiers used their neural links to control multiple weapon systems simultaneously. Ghost Fleet ships phased through reality itself, striking from impossible angles. The solar web created corridors of death that only human ships could navigate. But it was the integration that made it truly devastating. Every shot, every maneuver, every tactical decision was coordinated through the quantum network with perfect precision. The thunder forces move like a single entity spread across space itself. Their command structure is breaking down, Martins announced. They can't cope with this level of coordination. Through the neural link, Reynolds could feel the confusion and fear in the enemy fleet. Their tactics, developed over centuries of conquest, were useless against an enemy that could predict and counter their every move. This is impossible. A Krelnar commander's voice echoed through their networks. No species could have developed this level of technology, in secret. You gave us time, Reynolds transmitted back. All those years you spent conquering other worlds, we spent preparing. And now you're facing everything we built. The Krelnar fleet's formation began to collapse as more ships fell to the coordinated thunder assault. Their legendary military discipline crumbled in the face of an enemy that seemed to control the very fabric of space around them. Dr. Reynolds, the president called through the quantum link. Status report. Reynolds watched through 10,000 enhanced eyes as the greatest space battle in human history reached its inevitable conclusion. Thunder Protocol is operating at full capacity. The enemy fleet is being systematically dismantled. Victory is no longer in question. The only question left, Harrison added, is how many of them will survive to carry our message back to their empire. 1 month after the Battle of Saturn, the quantum core hummed with new energy as reports flooded in from across known space. Dr. Reynolds and Colonel Harrison stood before the World Security Council, their neural interfaces projecting the latest intelligence for all to see. The Krelnar Empire is in chaos, Harrison reported, his enhanced eyes glowing with incoming data. The surviving ships from their main fleet have spread the word of their defeat. Several conquered systems have already declared independence. Reynolds nodded, adding, and they're not the only ones who've noticed. We've received contact requests from 17 different species in the past week alone. The galaxy has realized there's a new power in play. Admiral Martinez's hologram materialized in the chamber, transmitted through the quantum network from her position near Jupiter. The Ghost Fleet has completed its patrol of the outer system. No sign of any remaining Krelnar forces within our space, though we are detecting interesting activity at the edge of our sensor range. Observers, the president said, standing to address the council. Other species, coming to see for themselves what happened here, to verify the stories about the empire that ruled through fear being brought low by a primitive world. Through the neural network, every enhanced soldier could feel the pride and anticipation coursing through Thunder's forces. They had not just defended Earth, they had changed the balance of power in the galaxy itself. The Arcturus Confederation has formally requested an alliance, Reynolds continued, bringing up new data streams. They've been resisting Krelnar expansion for centuries. Now they're offering to share their star charts, their technology, everything they have. And they're not the only ones, Harrison added. The Proxima Coalition, the Sirius Commonwealth, former enemies of the Krelnar, are all reaching out. They want protection, yes, but more than that, they want to learn. The president's expression was thoughtful. And what have we learned from the Krelnar database you captured, Doctor? Reynolds' hands danced over the quantum controls, bringing up new projections. Their technology was advanced, but narrow. They never explored quantum physics the way we did, never developed neural integration or true AI. They conquered through brute force, never imagining that a single world could develop something so far beyond their understanding. And Project Thunder? A council member asked, what's next for our defense program? Harrison and Reynolds exchanged a look through their neural link, sharing thoughts at the speed of quantum entanglement. It was Reynolds who answered. Thunder was never just about defense, she explained. Every technology we created, the enhanced soldiers, the Ghost Fleet, the solar web, they're all designed to be adapted, improved, expanded. We built the foundation for something much bigger than just protecting Earth. Through the quantum network, Images began to flow. New ship designs, enhanced training programs, advanced weapon systems that made even their current technology look primitive. We're already getting reports of other empires beginning to move, Martins added. The Kroner's defeat has created a power vacuum, and not everyone out there is friendly. We need to be ready. The president stood, her decision clear. Then we will be ready. Project Thunder will continue, not just as a defense program, but as the foundation of humanity's role in the galaxy. We'll build on what we've created, form alliances where we can, and make sure that no one ever again makes the mistake of thinking Earth is an easy target. Harrison's enhanced vision caught the slight smile on Reynolds' face. Actually, Madam President, we're already working on that. Would you like to see what Thunder Phase 3 looks like? As new holographic projections filled the chamber, showing possibilities that even most of Thunder's forces hadn't known about, one thing became clear. The galaxy had indeed changed forever. The species that had hidden its true power for so long was finally ready to step onto the galactic stage. And thanks to Project Thunder, they were stepping out not as supplicants or victims, but as a force that would help shape the future of known space. The thunder had finally rolled, and its echo would resound through the stars for generations to come.